Kings fought against the invasion of their lands and the dispossession of their lands and the killing of and enslavement of their people. So the fight against colonial domination and conquest is rooted in kings and queens and traditional leadership in not only South Africa, but the entire continent. So they play a huge and important role as custodians of our culture, custodians of our traditions, not only in terms of tradition itself, but the tradition of resistance against domination. So they play that a very important historical role in our society that we must never let go of. But they also play a role of maintaining and sustaining a lot of our communities. A lot of our communities reside on communal land. They reside through communal beliefs and communal values that are enshrined in many of our cultures, where the people know your neighbor will never go hungry if you live under the kingship or the chieftainship of a certain tribe.
They shouldn't go hungry.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, because a lot of them go hungry and they come and become Omanchingelani here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they maintain a lot of our communities that are neglected by formal and modernized society, that are neglected by government. In your rural areas, a lot of the sustenance and political systems that are running those communities and keeping them stable, keeping crime out, are ran through those traditional systems. So they play that important role. So they must be able to guide society in terms of how do we maintain those values and how do they sort of work hand in hand with the Constitution of South Africa and the political formalized process that exists today. So that is their role. I mean, Contra Lesser exists. It's one of the organizations that sort of brings all of the traditional houses together, that continue to give policy perspectives and directives to government as well. So they play that important, not only advisory role, but a lot of policies determined in consultation with them. To say they must be given formal political power to govern on their own in enclaves is going to devolve society into Mthatha, that is a state on its own, eThekwini or Ulundi, that is a state on its own. So we don't want that. You can't devolve society that has currently constituted itself as South Africa, a unitary state. So the proposition that we must be able to give monarchies powers to rule and govern outside of the Constitution of South Africa, outside of the Bill of Rights, outside of the laws that govern us, is something that we're completely opposed to, because there are elements of tradition and culture that we've outgrown as society.